In this video, we're going to go ahead and outline, draft a copy, design, and deploy a landing page all using AI tools. And you're going to be able to do this in minutes once you actually see the whole strategy of how we're doing this here. So as you see here, I am starting on ChatGPT, and that's because we're going to go ahead and we are going to outline these sections of the landing page first. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a prompt here. For the sake of this example, we're going to pretend that we are a moving company. So just a quick overview of the prompt here. So I'm saying that you are a professional direct response copywriter and your job is to help me draft copy for a landing page for a moving company specializing in long distance moves. I give it some more just overall instructions here, but I'm basically saying before you actually draft a copy, I would just want you to create the outline, break down section by section and bullet points of what kind of copy will go there. And I do want to have a contact form and just other little things I wanted to take into account as it creates the outline. So I'm going to go ahead and send this and let's see what it comes back with. All right, so let's see what ChatGPT generated. So first we have the hero section and the purpose is to capture intent immediately. So you see it gave us a purpose here and elements of the copy. So powerful headline, subheadline, some bullet points, the contact form, why choose us, bill authority, how it works, reduce friction, testimonials, the guarantee, de-risk, service area. Perfect, right? So obviously, I mean, there's more you can do as far as improving the prompt, but this is actually a pretty good outline. All right. So now that we're happy with this outline, I'm going to go ahead and tell it to draft the copy. Okay, so let's see what ChatGPT gave us. All right, so we have our hero section. We have a headline, subheadline, the contact form, CTA button, get my free quote, why choose us. Again, we have another headline, subheadline, some bullet points here, how it works, customer testimonials, all right, our guarantee. So this is pretty cool, right? So now that we actually have just the text outline of our website, now we can go ahead and start with design. So the tool that I'm using to put together the design is called UX Pilot. All you have to do is just come here. You can just kind of prompt it what you want and it'll generate some designs. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just grab this outline here. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on copy. And I'm going to come here, I'm going to open up this window. So for the prompt, I said, please generate a landing page based on a copy below. For colors, please use modern flat style colors and icons. And I just pasted in the copy below. Now, as far as design goes, there's obviously a lot more you can do with the prompt, right? You can let it know to center certain elements or what kind of things you would like, what kind of things you don't like. But for the purposes of this example, I'm just keeping things very simple. So I'm just going to click on update context. Now, for the use case, right, we can choose between a wireframe or a hi-fi design. A wireframe will basically just give you, the basically a grayed out outline of the website. And hi-fi includes actual colors, has some more design to it. A really good idea is to start with a wireframe and then move it into a hi-fi design. But again, for the purposes of this example, just move fast. We're just going to go ahead and just click on hi-fi design. The screen type, it's going to be really for desktop. When we get into Bolt, which is the tool that we're going to use, we're going to make sure that it's mobile responsive. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on generate. And as you see here, it's going to go ahead and generate that design for us. All right, so as you see here, give us a design. As I zoom in here, we have the headline from our copy. We have request a free quote. All right, this is pretty cool. All right, so it gave us some icons here. All right, so definitely not bad, right? Little areas here we can touch up on. It didn't really complete the FAQ section. All right, but anyway, that's okay. But honestly, to just kind of paste in a text and put in a very vague prompt, the design's actually pretty good, right? It's actually kind of what you see of a lot of just kind of small business landing pages. So since I didn't finish this section, I'm just going to click on here. I'm going to come to section edit and I'm going to say, please finish generating this section of the landing page. Below is the full text and I just pasted in everything here and I'm going to go ahead on generate. And it's going to go ahead and regenerate that part of the landing page. All right, so let's see. So as you see here, it did generate a couple bit more, like it kind of finished it out, but it actually didn't get absolutely everything here, but that's okay. As long as we have this design here, we can actually get this into Bolt.dev and we can go ahead and finish out this section. Anyway, AI tools are not perfect yet, but they're most definitely good at getting us about 80% there. Okay, so now that we have this outline done, the next tool that we're going to use is a tool called Bolt.new. And it's basically this tool here. You may have heard of Lovable. Well, this is another tool similar. And basically this tool here just allows you to kind of vibe code web applications or websites. So as you see here, we can import from Figma, but we can also upload this as an image. All right, so what's pretty cool is that I can just kind of come here, I can click on export, and I can export this as a PDF or as an image PNG. So I'm going to go ahead and just export this as an image. So I'm going to come here to Bolt.new. I'm going to go ahead and upload the image here, and I'm going to give it a prompt. All right, so I'm going to say, please generate a landing page according to the image uploaded. Please ensure full mobile responsiveness and fast loading speeds. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that as you do this more, one of the things that you do want to include is something called a context MD, really just going to be a file of instructions. And in that, you want to include a lot of specific things such as mobile responsiveness, as well as when you prompt for edits to only edit that part. Don't change other things but the project. Again, this is just a quick and fast tutorial on getting this set up, but as you mess with tools like this more and more, you definitely want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to keep them aligned, because again, AI is really good at getting you about 80-90% there. They're not perfect tools. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and click this button and let's see what Bolt gives us. So remember, this was our original design. All right, so as you see here, stress-free, long distance moving. If I come back here to the design, you see that the menu placement here is more right focused. Bolt did kind of centered here. Typically, you'll probably get better results if you import it from Figma. So you see here, generate this contact form that we can click and add things in here, not just movers. So we have our nice icons here. It's pretty cool. It actually gave us this effect here. All right, we have our testimonials section. All right, so as you see here, just another area. So in the design is a little bit different here. Right, so it kind of had this nice box around it. Here it didn't. But again, the biggest reason why it's probably kind of off in these little elements, more than likely, is because it's generating from an image versus generating from Figma. That's a lot more structured in how things are laid out and things like that. I'm pretty sure if I took this straight from Figma, the layout would be a lot more precise. But anyway, that's okay. So as you see here, we have this here, and we can, fix a couple things here. So I'm not gonna spend a whole ton of time in just kind of fixing little things here. Again, the purpose of this video is really just to show you how you can go from a design outline to a hosted landing page. But just in case, right, let's say that when I click on this reviews button here, I want it to drop down to the reviews section. All right, so I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna say the review menu text when clicked on should jump to the review section of the landing page. So I'm gonna go ahead and just send that, and Bolt should go ahead and get that fixed for us. All right, so Bolt finished making that fix for us. So if I come here and click on reviews, we see that it did jump to the review section here. All right, so again, I'm not going to spend too much time, doing all the little tweaks here. It's super simple. You just kind of come in here, you can let it know what you want it to do, and it'll go ahead and make all the changes accordingly. Okay, so now how exactly do we take this and turn it into a hosted landing page? For that, we're going to use a tool called Vercel, and it's basically like the easiest way to actually just get a project from Bolt or Lovable or one of those softwares into this tool. So in order to do that, one of the first things that you actually have to do is come here to integrations, and you do want to connect this to GitHub. All right, I've already connected my account to GitHub. So I'm just going to go ahead and name this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click on create repository. And what that's going to do is that it's going to create a repository on a tool called GitHub. All right, so as you see here, this is my repository. If I reload it, we see here that moving company YouTube has been added here. Basically what that means now is that as we make changes here, it's going to go ahead and update it here in this repository. So I go ahead and just click on it. We see here that these are all of the code files that Bolt generated. All right, so now that this is in GitHub, it becomes super easy to import it over to Vercel. All you have to do is just come here. Now I already have an account. It's free to sign up. And once you're here, all you have to do is just come here to add new and click on project. And you also want to connect this to your GitHub repository as well, because once you do, it'll automatically detect all of the projects in your repository. So as you see here, this here is the moving company website. If I just click on import, I'm just going to go ahead and click on deploy. And what it's going to do now is that it's going to go ahead and bring in all these files, and it's going to deploy this landing page for us. All right, and as you see here, it gives us a little preview of the website here. So I'm going to click on continue to dashboard, and it has the domain here. And as you see, it's now a hosted website. So just a quick tip here, right? So as you see here, we have our hosted landing page. Now, if I come here and I make a change here, what's going to happen is that it will instantly deploy live. So I highly recommend that you do some research and you look up exactly how to do more version control or how to look into doing staging, so that every single time you make an update in Bolt, it's not automatically deploying to your production web page, because if you make a change and something breaks, that break will deploy straight to your production landing page, and that's not something that you want. Otherwise, adding domains and managing your website here in Vercel is super easy, and it's one of the reasons why I really like it. All right, so anyway, hope you enjoyed this quick guide. As you see here, this is just a very fast way you can go from a outline to a hosted landing page, all using AI tools. In a future video, I do want to cover exactly how we can actually make simple front-end UIs for our N8N workflows. I think that's really where things get pretty cool, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one.